Welcome back to the first episode of 2022. Roll the intro.
Yeah, they call me a savage. I'm putting in work. I hustle and grind, I put in the time, get what I deserve. Savage.
Hey, bro.
Morning, bro. How are you?
We're back.
We're back.
2022. Yeah,
How was your Christmas?
it's good. Catch up with the family, done all the family things. New Year's, went to Byron Bay. That was cool.
What was it like up there?
It's good, man. I like Byron Bay, bro. It's pretty chill area. Go to the beach each day. Got an Airbnb. And then, go to cafes, swims and whatnot. It was a bit rainy, but, it's good vibes up there.
Good vibes, eh?
What about you?
Chilled with the family, bro. Just got around the pool.
Yeah.
Pretty quiet, to be honest. My parents or my mum moved over from New Zealand, so went to spend some time up there in Gold Coast. Other than that, man, just absolutely nothing. Ate a lot.
Goldie's cool too.
I love Goldie, bro.
They seem to live like
It's a nice
cool
life.
lifestyle.
It's a nice
I see
life
heaps of
up
my
there,
mates
bro.
and I'm like, fuck.
It's a nice
Sydney's
life up
just a little bit expensive and different to do all those things, isn't it?
It's a rat race.
You gotta go super
I
out
reckon
west.
It's a rat race.
Yeah, Sydney's a bit of a rat
Then
race.
you go up there, as soon as you pass the border, man, everything's nice and slow. The drivers
They got a
slow
big
down.
coast, so you know what I mean?
Plenty of
You go to,
space.
I think I spent $50 in parking in the weekend.
Where's your
to
park
go to
at?
the beach. In Manly at Shelley Beach, $10 an hour. I was there for like 4 hours. And then I had to go to another place and I paid another whatever. So it was like nearly $50 just to go out. Fuck. That's Sydney for you.
Just paying the rent,
I
hey,
love
bro.
it. We love it, but,
We love the Sydney life.
100%. Let's kick off with a few questions. We'll just go pick one.
Yep.
You ask, I ask.
Cool.
Okay, what do we got here? Just interests. So he's got interest gym, brackets bodybuilding, overcoming injuries with tendon problems, elbow and knee. So maybe his interest is bodybuilding, or what are our interests in the gym? What type of training do we like, and what experience do you have overcoming injuries with tendon problems? So I'm guessing tendonitis.
You going first or am I going first?
You.
I'll go first. Knees. Anything to do with knees. I love training, talking about them, as you guys can probably tell already. But my style of training is basically just all rehab stuff. When it comes to lower body, anything upper body, then we like to do a bit of strength / bodybuilding. I think, well, I would hope so that I know a little bit about knees. So, that's my focus, or that's what I enjoy, and that's my interest when it comes to training, if that makes sense.
Yeah, same. I like adding in all different types of training to my training. So bodybuilding, we use that type of style for upper body. I hold a lot of muscle upper body, so we do like bench and all those styles, and then maybe we finish with a bit of arms or chins dip sort of style. But we don't go full on bodybuilding like professional.
I feel like they spend a lot of time inside the gym. And for example, we just went there today, and like we said on our dense strength session, we spend maybe 30, 40 minutes in there. But I feel like when you're doing bodybuilding, you do spend a lot more time focusing on the muscles around the place you're trying to grow or you're trying to change, so to speak. So
bodybuilding is a different discipline when you take it to those extreme levels and those competition levels. You have to be super disciplined on diet, training, and everything needs to be on point. But it doesn't mean that other people can't do it as well. Like, you can take the concepts from bodybuilding and apply it to your training, which we like doing as well.
Yep.
Stuff. Overcoming injuries with tendon problems, elbows, knees.
Well, I've no experience with elbows, but for knees, you're doing it at the moment, bro. It's like plenty of work with sleds. You know what I mean? And like we said, during all these episodes, the more movement that you get into your knees, and the better off your knees, or more healthier your knees will be. Then you go dive into all the knees over toes and all that sort of stuff. But my theory is just get the muscles around your knee nice and strong, and that'll alleviate some of the pain or the feelings that you have within those tendons and all that sort of stuff.
Sometimes what not to do more than what to do.
I think a lot of people overdo.
The hardest thing with training is regressing, like not doing the things that you normally do because you are injured. And I think that's a real big point that the ego comes into play, and you want to
Everyone
you
wants
want to
to
lift,
fix.
you want to
yeah,
lift
the
heavy, and
fix.
you still want to do your training. But same, I've sort of got the Achilles tendon problem at the moment, and I've just had to get rid of everything, and I'm just doing like some rehab stuff. So sled work, compared to just going out and doing running and squatting and, just irritating it even more. I just regress everything back, which is hard to do when you sort of just, start of the year and you want to get everything going, but sometimes you have to go backwards to go forward. So I think that's a big thing in rehab, that people, they'll do the rehab, but they're still doing their other training, which is sort of,
You can't separate them too, because if you get if let's say for example, and me and you can dive into this probably further. Let's say you are doing your rehab, but you're still doing your other training, and you're still staying injured, or you're still complaining of those niggles and all that sort of stuff. Well, automatically, a lot of people blame what they're doing for the rehab, and really, in all necessity, it's because of the other training that they're doing that they're not getting the results that they think they should be getting. Right, rest and recovery is just as important as doing something. And when you're injured, or when you're looking after those niggly injuries, you need to separate yourself from the other stuff and focus on your prehab, rehab, or all those little jewels that you've gotten from your physios, from your doctors, or from your coaches, in order for you to actually feel like it might be feeling better, or it might be doing better, or you're doing your testing and your assessments in order for you to see the progression that you've had over the last couple of weeks.
But context does come into play. If you're in a team and you got to train and you want to make the side, it's tough to manage, but you have to do everything possible to recover, do all the recovery protocols, and eat well. That plays a big factor. Sleeping, make sure training's on point, and that's about it. Next question. Anyone?
We just had this is going for you. What are the best stretches to do before running long distance? I wouldn't have a clue.
Yeah, neither. I don't run long distance.
I don't run further than 100 meters, bro.
Yeah, 4K is my longest run. Long distance, contextual to yourself, obviously. And so I always love starting with the hips. Easy. So start simple, couch stretch, 2 minutes each side before you warm up. Do your calf stretch. Jam that foot inside on the pole. Pull on the pole. That gives a good description. 90-90. Like super easy stuff I find is the best to do. You don't want to
overdo it.
Big exhausting session. You don't want to do like a middle splits work, or that you don't need to do that. If groin is a bit tender, then you can just do a light frog. What you don't want to do if you're going on long distance runs is, nearly burn yourself out with stretching for like 20-30 minutes. I'd rather just a quick, say 10-minute little protocol, go couch stretch 2 minutes each side, 90-90, sit in the bottom for 1 minute each side, and then we'll go frog for 2 minutes. What's that? Nearly just under 10 minutes, and then your way to go. Maybe do calves if that's your issue as well, and then that should get you going. And then away from your running, you can work on whatever you need to as well.
Cool.
Pretty simple.
Easy. I've got one more for you. What if you have, hold on, let me see if I can read this properly. What you have on bad lower back and hammies, how to get them stronger.
Bad lower back and hammies. So everything usually stems from the hips, I find, 90% of the time. So once you open up your hips, you'll find usually your lower back will feel a lot better, especially with all my clients that I've given stuff to. People they see that Jefferson curl as, a lower back exercise, but usually it's stemming from how tight your hips are. Your hips need to move in a certain way externally and internally so they can move properly. Sorry, let me just go over that again. Make sure I'm answering everything.
Top corner.
And hammies. Okay, so hammies. Yeah, hammies are tough. So we do the Nordics and I like RDLs actually. Yeah. Dumbbell RDLs.
I feel like that's a safer range of movement, and you got a bit more control.
Yeah.
I feel like with something like the Nordics, you have to be very advanced in order to do that. When it's still like a good exercise, right? But I just feel like RDLs, you still have control of the weight, and you're still.
You can take your time with it and actually focus on hinging, which people usually is. The
And
main
you can
thing
get a
people
little bit
wrong.
more out of it too, bro. Like I feel like Nordics, you can fry yourself in 5 to 6 reps.
Yeah.
That's if you're you're like me, a heavier guy, and I don't have too much of a strong hammy, I would say. But then I go to RDL, so I can push the volume out, which is always good for me. And it feels a lot safer doing those RDLs as well.
I like those one-legged back extensions too.
Oh yeah. Oh yes.
They give me heaps of DOMs.
They're
DOMs and the
fucked.
hammies, RDLs.
They're hard, bro.
Also with hammies, you have to have everything else working in good order as well.
Yep.
That's the main thing. You can't just, your hammies are getting tight or you've got hamstring injuries, but you need everything. Everything works together.
Yeah.
If something else is weak, and then, I don't know, maybe you offset your hamstring. Plus your sprint volume. I think that's a really understated thing, is making sure you got enough sprint volume to be able to, say if it's for a footy player, Tom Trbojevic and that, they got their sprint volume up. He had to hit a certain amount of sprint volume during the week, so when he comes to a games, his hammies are,
Okay.
able to take all the,
Yep.
take that
Which
load
makes
through
sense.
the game, which makes like heaps of sense.
Heaps of sense.
You got to be 150s. Speed endurance training, all that stuff. Let's go. Another one. What do we got left?
Bottom left.
I'm keen to start making mobility and flexibility my routine. Where do I start? You can go.
No, you can go.
I can speak about like routine wise.
Okay.
You touch on that and then I'll say.
Okay. Well, for me, when it comes to mobility and flexibility, first off, I'd be asking questions to the right people. All right, I'd come see someone like Troy. Then, in terms of routine, I would start doing mobility, flexibility early mornings. I'm one of those guys who likes to wake up, feel good for the rest of my day, and to do that, I do something like mobility, flexibility. And then if you're someone also like me who has a history of injury, it's important to understand where you can be blocked or where for example, guys that are doing mobility, flexibility, you get assessed first, you see where you're at in terms of your starting point, and then in a couple of weeks' time, you're going to get assessed and reassessed again, so to speak. And a guy like myself, I don't find I get results really quick when it comes to a stretch like a couch stretch, right? Only because I've got all this knee issue, which is why strength and rehab plays a big part in what I'm doing as well. So, in order to get started, first off, ask the right question to the right person, and then from there, it's a journey. It takes a long time to sort of understand where you're at in terms of other people. I wouldn't be looking at too many people and going, comparing yourself to them, because I did that at the start, trying to compare myself to a guy like Troy. But then I found through, my own journey through the knee game, I found that I could actually find a little bit more mobility, flexibility, and all that sort of stuff. So it's a very vague answer. I feel like I've gone into 3 or 4 different places, but that's how I would start.
Practically 14-day hip flexor couch stretch, 2 minutes each side, it's 4 minutes. So start there, like it's the simplest way. That's how I first started when I went on to my mobility stuff. Kelly Starrett was the guy that sort of got that into my brain, and that fixed up a lot of my lower back problems to begin with. So that's the best place to start. Keep it nice and simple, but it's the consistency as well. You can't just do 1 hour session once a week. I think it's better to do 15 to 20 minutes Monday to Friday, maybe Saturday if you want, or Sunday, especially if you're a footy player. People think that you can get away with a 1 hour session on your recovery day or your mobility work, and that's enough. I don't think that's enough. And you sort of got to keep chipping away at it, even though I find mobility likes a lot of consistency each day compared to one big session to get improvement. So say you want to do 1 hour a week, I'd rather you do 6 10-minute sessions. I reckon you get 5 times more results from that compared to a big 1 hour session. So that's one of the big things I sort of see people when they ask me questions on Instagram and whatnot. they're like, oh, I need a mobility program. I've got this one day to do my mobility work. I was like, oh, sorry, bro. It doesn't really work like that. I need you Monday to Friday, 15 minutes at least. And that seems to get results. And, you want results. That's the main thing as well. Three things that people are usually missing is accountability, a good program, and then being able to measure your results. So if you've seen on social media, I use just the before and after pics, and they show, you know what I mean? And that keeps you in the game as well, I find. But yeah, that's about it. What else is for 2022?
A couple of goals, bro. I won't share them here, but I've got some pretty big things for myself personally. I'm looking forward to, and then I'm getting into some bit of the knee game with you. You know, in the next couple of weeks, we're going to do some shooting soon, and
Excited for that.
I am. And then just going to start spreading the vibe. So if you're a young strapping footy player, or if you're one of those old guys who do suffer from anything to do with knees, I'll be having some programming ready for you in the next couple of days. Once we get started, everyone will get a little notification on Instagram about what's going on.
He's back.
I'm back.
What about your own training goals and training stuff?
Bro, I'm pretty simple. Like, besides dialing into, the knee game further, I've put on a bit of weight over the Christmas period, and it's actually bothered me, bro, because I thought I was in a good place leading into it. And it comes down to probably
you hate telling people not to do it, and then you do it yourself.
That's it, bro.
I hate that Christmas period where, man, as coaches, everyone gives us the excuse of letting themselves go, and we hate it, and then we go do it ourselves, and we're like...
And it's really bothered me, bro. And it just goes to show that, self-discipline is something that I'm really struggling with. And there's something that I haven't fucking completed yet in the last 5 years that I'm looking to complete this year. So this year I will be doing the 75 hard challenge that everyone knows about. But I feel like there's not many people who've actually done it properly. I don't care about anyone else, but I only care about myself.
Yeah, there's some weak source of efforts.
Yes. So
what are the rules on that anyway?
So there's 45-minute trainings. One is outdoors, one is indoors. Obviously, being outdoors doesn't matter if it's rain, hail, or shine. And then the indoor session is obviously at a gym, whatever you want to do as well. There's no rules. It just has to be 45 minutes. All right, so obviously I'll start my stopwatch, and then I'll be done in 45.
What's the hardest thing out of all the rules for you?
Honestly, bro, and this is we're going deep dive in here. It's just I really enjoy a beer and a good time, and that's what I'm saying. 2022 is a fucking real big year for me, because that self-discipline of being able to say no, I've never had before, ever since I was 18 years old. The longest I've ever had off drinking alcohol since being 18 was 55 days, and that was done when I was in Queensland. And that's for me, it's disappointing. I really want to be better, and in order for me to be better or to change that, I need to change how I see life, or how I see my lifestyle being, or how I see myself being. So that's the big goal for this year, bro. Self-discipline. 2022, I want to complete 75 hard. That's one of the big ones. When
are you starting?
I've already started.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, so I'm back on track, bro.
That's good.
Yeah. What about you? What's the big one for 2022?
So for me, just want to be consistent, so obviously in that training, and then mine at the moment is this Achilles, trying to fix it up.
Okay.
And
what have you done? What have you been doing so far for the Achilles?
I've been throwing the kitchen sink at this Achilles. I have been doing everything to try and fix it myself. I think I might need just a little bit of physio work on it, once or twice a week, just to get it going.
Who's your physio? Who do you see?
No one at the moment. I used to have Tommy at the gym, who was real good, and I used to like his needle work that he used to do. That's what I feel like I need. Just my Achilles is tightened up.
You won't buy some needles, bro, and let me do it.
Yeah, I know mates that do it themselves. It's not that hard, I don't think. And then, it's just trying to settle that down, which I feel I'm on the right track now. I've been trying everything. So, flossing, the floss band.
Scraping.
Every night, scraping.
Sled
getting into
work.
That kills. I've been just a lot of sled work. Got rid of my lower body workouts. I started with a lot of stretching to try and get my range of motion back with the calf stretch and sort of that dorsiflexion back in it. But I've sort of pulled back on that. I'm just going to sled it out for a week until the pain dies down. Like, it's not that bad, but I'm just worried about that thick tendon. I can feel the difference between my good side and my bad side. So that's my big one at the moment. And then other training goals is just sort of be consistent. Long as I'm consistent Monday to Friday with my training. I got a bit busy last year and I felt like I dropped off. I had the handstand stuff that I've sort of put to the side for the time being. I pick that up later. And I'd like to get back into the running, but I can't at the moment because I got the Achilles. So
What's your run me through your schedule for a week, bro? What sort of week?
Monday, Wednesday, Friday is lower body. I used to do like the knees over toes stuff. Monday would be a quad day. Wednesday a sort of hammy posterior chain, and then Friday just a top off freestyle, whatever I missed or whatever I feel I need topping up on. Tuesday, Thursday is my upper body day, bench day, bench strength. Want to do a lot of more content this year. That's probably my main one compared to my training, putting out content of the training. So filming vlogs, one vlog a week, one podcast a week, and maybe doing like a little 10 to 15 minute mobility session that I can just post on YouTube and just get out there for everyone. So those are my big goals.
So are you always just hitting that one session a day, or are you doubling up? Are you doing running on top of that? Were you doing running on top of that?
Yeah, I was at one stage on the Tuesday, Thursdays I was running.
Okay.
But I used to do, my usual schedule was handstands Monday to Friday.
Yeah.
And that handstands mobility, they'd take an hour, and then I'd try and do weights. And I feel I used to just maybe miss one session on Thursday or Friday because I just felt burnt out by then. Okay. But that seemed to work real well.
Okay. So maybe like two hours a day.
One session's are easy. If you can't do one session.
Yeah.
Don't give us that time excuse. Or you've been working late. Those are the two worst excuses. Send me that little picture on your phone of the what's the social media time on your phone?
Yeah. What's the average? Oh, I want to look at my phone. Where's my phone?
Bro, mine's like 6 hours or something.
I didn't even check that out, bro.
I do have an online business, so. But there's a lot of mindless scrolling is probably one of the things. Oh yeah, what about some habits that we want to get rid of?
Habits you want to get rid of?
Yeah, sometimes it's not always what you want to achieve. It's sometimes removing some stuff as well, which is a biggie.
I've never heard of it. I've never even thought about that.
I've got a really good thing that I heard the other day, but it's on my phone, the notes of... I'm going to pick this up next podcast, actually. But let's finish it up there.
Yep.
20 minutes, just over 20. Good first podcast of 2022. Cool.
Sure, right.
Cheers.